112. Simon Whitlock losing to Phil Taylor.
Visit without a treble from Whitlock, so it opens up for Lewis to certainly get back. And that first half, when it sits like that, you have to fancy him. He's going to switch. You can only see a half inch of the treble 20, so he switches. But that puts him right back in the leg.
Not only just right back in the leg, now Rod effectively in front in it.
44.
And a real opportunity.
Yes, and you've got to take those opportunities. I mean, Whitlock 6 starts without a treble. And Lewis goes and fires in a bad score. Whitlock going to put it right now, and he certainly is. And he's normally, when they're unhappy with the treble, it's normally the way the flights are sitting in the dartboard, and there we see it. The flights were covering the treble 20 up, so he had to switch to the 18s.
He's had a 108, Simon Whitlock.
106.
106 will put him back in front here as Lewis waits for Shanghai. And the Wizard wield his wand once more. Treble 18. Double 16 for another three-figure outshot, and that could not have been closer without going in.
120.
Shanghai on 20s for Lewis. It's not a bad guide. Well, he would have expected to hit the treble 20 with that second. So now Whitlock, 3 clear darts. Doesn't waste too many chances. Does the Wizard, and that's exactly what he's done. He's put the dart straight in the treble. Weren't going to mess around. He takes the 3-2 lead.
140.
And Lewis, he's got to try and break the throw. He's got to have one of these exceptional 12 dart legs to break the throw of Whitlock.
Well, is he going to find another treble? He is, and that is his first 140 plus visit in this darts match, and it comes at the start of the 7th leg. You'd have given me long odds against that, Rodney, wouldn't you?
140.
Well, it's incredible, isn't it? You would never, ever say that he'd play that many legs without a 140 or even a 180, to be quite honest. But he's still 3-2 up, so he's doing everything else right. 60% on the doubles, that's where it's the difference to 33 for Lewis.
That's his second 140, 6 for Lewis, 2 180s for Jackpot. Well, this seesaw stuff here, because Lewis was on top a couple of legs ago, and now Whitlock has suddenly got back into the ascendancy. Strange game, this one.
I think that's where Lewis has been not so good. It's his consistency.
100.
Just over the 90 averages for both players, which you'd expect them to be pushing the 100 average by now. And that's going to hurt.
120.
They give him 2 darts. A double
120.
top if he returns. Whitlock, the last 3 legs, has had chances for the ton plus shots. You quite fancy him to have a dart, the 3rd dart at the bullseye.
20 leaves bull. Well, it is then. The master at the middle of the board. Simon Whitlock. 1-2-1. 4-2 to the Wizard of Oz.
Game on.
So really, that's the area where Whitlock is dominating. And when he first came over to the PDC, that was what was so noticeable about his game. You know, his ton plus checkout was right up there with Phil Taylor at his best.
Yeah, the year they got to the World Final, 2010, he was knocking them in from all angles. He had 2 170s in that World Championship campaign, one in the final.
60.
And look at that. And Gerwin plays laser. Next on against Phil Taylor.
80.
The Aussie fans, and they've got a lot to shout about at the moment. 4-2 up against 80 Lewis. And again, we have to say this is kind of a typical Lewis performance. You know,
60.
the early part we thought the rhythm looked good, all of a sudden he started hitting the treble 20 consistently, and then he hit that treble 20 going for the 60, and since then it's been a bit lethargic, hasn't it? It's not really been up there with what we expected.
No, you just keep waiting for him to catch light. He's like a fizzling firework. He's waiting for it to go off, but nothing's happening. Something's happening now for Whitlock, though. He's 144. Well, he's had 2 ton pluses. He's going to come out of there this time.
170.
Great visit. As good as a match to lead double 12.
144.
We're setting it up. We are setting it up. He did. And Whitlock, for the first time in 4 legs, he's not going to get a dart at the double for a ton plus shot. Now Lewis,
24.
this is against the throw. It's a bit wide, but that one isn't. Straight in the middle with his second dart. Adrian Lewis claws himself back into the match and now throws to level it up.
We're yet to see a draw, even with the shorter format, even in the 12-leg matches. Remember last year it was 14, but a 10-man lead now. And at the end of a round robin, when they've all played each other once, all played 9 games, 2 will be sent to the guillotine.
100.
And no one wants that. Your pride would not allow that, so a little bit extra to play for this year. I do feel that the shorter
66.
formats make it far more exciting, and I think we've got more of a chance as we get into this series of events that we will see some incredible averages which the shorter formats seem to bring up.
Wow, and a 1st to 6 game at Clondon Park in the Championship League darts, Rod Van Gerwen averaged over 120 against Steve Beaton, beating him 6-0 in 8 minutes 15 seconds, so we know what these boys are capable of. You could conceivably see something like that, couldn't you? There's 3 or 4 capable of that.
I think we will. I think we've got 10 players this year
58.
that are all on pretty good form. I know Lewis is a little bit lacklustre at the moment, but we know that he will come back. But other years, even with the 8 players, there's always been 1, probably 2 players that have not been playing at the top of their game but still got in. But this year, 10 players that could throw some fireworks.
Here's some fireworks from Whitlock. He'll switch.
130.
He looks like he's going to break the Lewis throw here. Lewis had hauled himself back to within a leg. Oh, well. Adrian Lewis, even he doesn't know what's going on. Even he doesn't know what's happening. He threw 38, 180. Why always me?
He can't understand it, and sometimes you don't even try and fathom it out. You just get on with it. On double top now for a 5-3 lead.
64.
Just on the top wire, and that 180 has given Lewis the chance to hold the throw and level this game up. Game where Whitlock could have run away with it. 10. Massive dart for Lewis.
47.
And a massive miss.
40.
You kind of feel that Whitlock won't let him off again.
It would be a surprise, Rodney. He wasn't far away on his last attempt at double top. That's Whitlock I'm referring to. It was right on the top wire. Oh, no, he's dragged it down. 2 10s. No bother. No bother for the beard to be feared. 5-3, 2 times world champ, former world champion Bother.
Game on.
Such an important leg. I know every leg is important over this short format, but that was worth effectively 2 legs. It's now 5-3 up instead of 4 all, and with the throw in coming up
140.
after this match. Phil the Power Taylor against mighty Michael Van Gerwen. The rematch of the last World Championships, and what a great match that was. We thought that Van Gerwen was going to run away with it, but the experience of Taylor fought himself back, so plenty of revenge there for Michael Van Gerwen.
Yeah, Van Gerwen led 4-2 in that final, had darts for 5-2 in sets.
100.
Couldn't get the job done. Taylor rallied to win his 16th world title. And every time you see
60.
that, it makes you shake your head. 16 World Championships. Mighty Mike's men have come to Belfast to watch their boy.
Well, I do feel the shorter formats will help Michael out in that match. He seems to get out of the gate very quickly, and if he can get out of the gate quick, and it's short enough to be able to get over the finishing line as quick.
Well, Whitlock knows if he can get one more leg, preferably this one, he will be in an unassailable position. He won't be able to lose. He can still draw the game once he gets to 6, but he has at least pocketed a point if he can clean up that 64.
Well, the darts are going low. He managed to find the 54 with the last dart. Now, Whitlock would love to see this first dart in the treble 16. Guaranteed one dart at a double at least. And he'd go for 16s or the tops. Tops it is for a 6-3 lead.
24.
And a chance there now. A lot of the guys have been going for the big trebles, but will Lewis go for that bullseye 25?
Well, he's played the percentages, Rod. He's trying to at least give himself a shot at bull. And he has done that. Bull!
69. Sorry, by a 40.
I think Adie's demeanour said it all there. Top for at least 1 point on the board. Oh, he's just going to slam this into the flight. Oh, there's a brick wall there. 2 darts to bounce off. 1 dart he bounces off. Guarantees himself 1 point in the first match of this Premier League here at the Odyssey in Belfast, in front of a massive crowd, as Lewis hits his 4th maximum of the match. He's hit 7 140s. Whitlock, no maximums, only 5 140s, and yet Lewis finds himself 6-3 down.
139.
They promised you 9 darters in the Premier League. Well, Adrian Lewis was teasing us. Remember, he got one in the World Final right at the start against Gary Anderson in 2011. Wonderful moment.
A lot of work now for Adie Lewis to get anything out of this game, and with darts like that, it's just not happening again for the double world champion.
41.
And sometimes when you're out of sorts, you forget even how to grind the result out. I mean, he's still on a 95 average, Rodders, but normally that would be good enough to win most games.
92.
Whitlock was hunting the 170 leave again there, needed the treble 20. Treble 20 here for Adie Lewis, leaves tops!
100.
He's going to hold here, then break, then hold.
Not a lot of pressure from those 3 darts. So at least 3. No, he's going to throw this one high. I had a feeling that was going to be nearer double top than the treble 20.
150.
Whitlock, as we said earlier on, king of the checkouts.
It's amazing what happened before affects what happens in the future, isn't it? Remember, he bossed 60 before. Can't go out now.
98.
But double 10
20.
is an MUST for Lewis.
I don't even know why, after that first dart, that he actually looked to the side. I mean, if you're going to miss, it was a perfect miss, really. So now Whitlock is going to get 2 clear darts to wrap this match up. Double 16 for a big win. Right on the wire. Oh, what a miss.
What a miss. What a surprise. Lewis had put the darts away. Get them back out again. Double 2. Double 2. Put them away now. Put them away now. That will surely be that. You would be shocked if Whitlock couldn't clean this up. 3 at the target. Doesn't miss again. Didn't give the 2-time world champ a second lifeline, and Simon Whitlock, last year's runners-up in the